Okay, so today's tips and tricks are sorry. Tips and tricks are about how to sell a property to a retail buyer that is not moving. So this happens every once in a while, right? Everybody dreams that when you finish doing the rehab or wholesaling a property and you put out the price and put it out and list it, that you're going to get into contract in a week, and that's not always the case. I think you really need about 4 weeks to figure out if you really mispriced or you missed the boat on something. In about a month, you'll know. But it's foolish to think that you're going to find someone in a couple of days. Sometimes you do, but sometimes you put it out there and you're pretty sure the price is right, and you're just not getting any good offers. Or you get good offers right away, and for some reason they all fall apart, and you don't know what to do. So these are some methods that I've used to sell properties that just were not moving. So there's really a few factors involved. The most important thing is price, right? You need to fully understand that every house will sell for a certain price, right? That might be below what you can sell it for, in which case you're in trouble, but it also might be what you have to do. I mean, the 3 deals that I lost money on, every single one of them was because I priced it too high. And I ended up selling it for what I should have priced it in the beginning. And if I would have priced it there right when I was available, right when I was ready, I would have either broken even or even made a little money. But because I priced it too high and then dropped it, it took a long time, and that time really eats through your profits. So the 2 factors that you have to think about when you're selling a property are the price and the asking price, which is really the number one way you're going to communicate to potential buyers. And the second factor involved in finding it is buyers' agents and their willingness and desire to bring their clients to the property. So also buyers' agents' laziness. And we're going to talk about what, in these tips and tricks, you'll understand what that means. So you've got to understand, if you're a buyer's agent, that means you have someone who said, hey, I want to buy a house, and this is where I'm looking, and this is what I want. You have some control over what properties you're going to show that buyer, and you have some leeway in pushing the buyer into which property you have some leeway in pushing the buyer into which property they're going to choose. So the tricks that I do are, and some of these are sort of frowned upon by the multiple listing service, but none of them are illegal, is that number one, if it's really not moving, I'll start dropping the price by $100 on the asking price every single day. So what this does is it allows lazy buyer's agents, and there's a lot of them, who only are looking for new product or something where the price changes, to see your house pretty much every day, because you're going to be in a price change every day. Again, they don't love when you do this in MLS, but I don't think it's illegal. It's sort of frowned upon, but I've done that. Second thing I've done is I've offered buyer's agents in the listing, in the area that most people don't see, that only other agents see, a gift card for $1,000 or $2,000 if the property gets under contract by a certain date. Now, what that means is that the buyer's agent does not have to share that with his brokerage. Now, in the beginning of the year, most buyer's agents, most agents are going to be at some kind of split. It might be 80-20, it might be 70-30. But if you offer them a gift card, that they keep that money by themselves, and it's worked. It's gotten people to properties that were sort of stagnating. That has worked too. So it's important to understand the sales rate. Now, obviously, you can always just drop the price, and eventually that'll work if you drop the price enough. But you have to understand that if something has been sitting out there for a while and the price drops, the subconscious mind, and consciously some people will ask, what's wrong with it, right? And you need to be able to explain, we had a deal and the deal fell through, that kind of thing, especially today in COVID where it's actually happening a lot. So it's important to have a good narrative to explain to people why this thing has been listed on the market if it seems like such a good deal for so long. Now, also, there could be sometimes an issue actually with the property, right? Now, if it's a location issue, there's nothing you can do about it. You can't change where the property is. But if it's a repair issue, so if everybody comes in and says, I just had a property like this, everybody says, listen, the kitchen really isn't great. And it's going to cost us $80,000 to do a kitchen. A lot of retail buyers think that's what it costs, and they could spend that easily. You may want to, do something in the kitchen, cabinetry or countertops. In the case what I did, I replaced the countertops. The countertops were not large and it wasn't expensive, so I put granite on the countertops. Now, Obviously it's a slippery slope because you can always do something else to repair the property, always. But you have to listen to feedback. So if you're getting showings and you're not getting offers, you need to follow up with those people who came and say, what's the story? And get real and get deep into it. Most buyers agents are just going to go, they're not interested, that kind of thing. You want to go, why? What did they like about it? What did they not like about it? And get into it. And if you hear the same things coming up each time, the kitchen's gross, the basement's dirty, whatever it is, then you take care of that and you fix it. And I have taken properties down off the market, and then I think I've taken it down for 30 days and then relisted it at a lower price. So that is something that you can absolutely do legally. It's not a problem at all. And then it shows up as a new listing, and you will get it in front of fresh eyes. So these are a few little things that I've done to get retail buyers there. But without a doubt, if you're getting showings and you're not getting offers, and people don't understand this, it's always due to the asking price. Now you'd say, why? If the asking price is too high and people are coming, why wouldn't they just make a lowball offer? People do not want to make offers that are significantly below your asking price. They won't. They feel it's insulting. They feel it's a waste of time. It's never going to happen. They just get turned off. So you have to make sure that your asking price is correct. And I am a firm believer in pricing things lower than what you even expect to get. Okay, so we just went to contract on something in Hempstead. I could have easily priced the property at $4.25 easily. I priced it at $3.99, and I got $3.90 for it, which is really what I figured we were going to get, around the high threes. Now, do I know if I would have gotten over $400,000? I don't know, but I know that it would have been more of a struggle with this particular house, because I did not really do any work to the house. It was a wholesale deal. I just cleaned it up, and there's enough things going on there that you can easily say, it's not the greatest house. It's a good house. It's a house that's financeable. It's not the greatest house. So pricing it low, I believe below a psychological number, like for people that are looking up to $400,000, you price it at $399. You're going to get your property in front of people who are certain people who are looking for that range. And if you price it at $401, you're going to miss out on people that are looking for that range. So I believe you price it low, you can let it go higher. Actually, we didn't price it at $399. I apologize. We priced it at $379, and we sold it at $390. And I always felt like it was close to $400,000 house. So it's important, I think, today especially, and what I think is coming in the market, it's going to be very important to price it low. But again, if your property is not moving, then you have to deal with some of the things that I mentioned before. Either price changes or an incentive to buyer's agents to get them in there, to get in front of buyer's agents. Because as much as I don't like paying buyer's agents, the truth is 9 out of 10 houses, 9 out of 10 buyers that I sell to have a buyer's agent. So you need to be aware of the way things work, certainly in our area. And I think in most areas it happens that way with buyer's agents. So it's important to keep in mind that you want to come out low right away. If you don't come out low enough and you don't get offers, it's really because of the asking price. If you're getting offers that are close to asking, then you're priced right. And if you're getting offers above asking, then you're really priced right. So those are some tips and tricks on retail houses, selling houses to retail end user buyers if that are not moving. But again, don't be upset if after a week or two you don't see any action. Sometimes you just haven't gotten in front of enough people. I think it takes about 4 to 6 weeks to really get a feel for what's going on out there. I made that mistake also, where after a week, I started panicking, but it takes a little time. You got to get in front of people's eyeballs. So if you're watching on Facebook, go to, first of all, if you need any more information on how I do what I do, you can go to howtoflipnewyork.com. If you're watching on Facebook, look above for some ways I can help you. If you're watching on YouTube, look below. Please like the videos if you like them. Subscribe if you're watching on YouTube, and comment. All comments get responded to very quickly. And if there's any way I can help you, my office number should be below. Just let me know.